Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do a tag today. Now, I am way behind. I think this tag is like 3 months old, and I apologize to Dandy at Adoseofdandy. I'll link him down below his video on this, but I meant to do this a really long time ago, and it just, things kind of got, you know, I just didn't get time. So anyway, this is the Kings of the Wyld book tag, and this is based off of Nicholas Eames' book, Kings of the Wyld, which has to do with the band of old mercenaries who get the band back together in order to go save one of their daughters. So I really enjoyed this book. I read it last year, so I'm still a little sketchy on some things. I really want to reread it before the next book comes out. Bloody Rose comes out in July, I believe. So I'm all looking forward to this. But I know that a lot of people read this book for BookTube SFF Awards because it's one of the nominees for the debut category. So if you have read it, I say you do this tag because this is really fun. So because I'm not going to tag anybody because I'm behind. But I also think there's a lot of people out there that have now read the book. So you guys should do this tag. I'll have all the questions listed down below as well as Dandy's video. So question number 1 is, who is your favorite Kings of the Wyld character and why? I have to say Clay is one of my favorite characters now of all time. I loved him because he was so down to earth, and yet he would kind of go berserker, and he was just great. Like, he was like that guy, voice of reason, the one more mature, but you know, he couldn't always control his friends. But I loved him. He was great because he just was very relatable, but also could get the job done. So I really enjoyed Clay. Question number 2 is, if you lived in this world, what would your band name be? So they were called Saga, and that was their name. And even after they've been retired for many years, Saga was very famous still. So I couldn't think of a name, of course. I'm like, I can think of a lot of things, but I thought literally Bad News was a good one. I don't know. I don't know. Number 3, what role would you play in the band, and would you have a nickname? Now, I don't know. I figure I could be either kind of the peacekeeper or I could be the berserker because, you know, you hurt my friends, I'm coming after you. But for a nickname, I guess I'm going to go with one that I had in high school, which from one of my friends called me Turtle. But it was like, she did it from the German. It was like Schildkröte. So, it's just a joke. Anyway, because I had glasses and anyway, I don't know. Even though I was wearing contacts a lot, but she still called me that. Anyway, so I'm going to go with Turtle. I don't know. Sounds cool, right? I like turtles and frogs, so I picked turtles. Number 4, if you could only describe one scene to a friend in order to convince them to read this book, what scene would it be? Now, I would not want to pick one of the really, really important scenes. I would pick one of the first scenes that made me laugh, kind of. Pretty much laugh, and that is with Lady Jane and the Silk Arrows rob a couple. Rob a couple of them, and it's hilarious because they do it very nicely and take everything. I mean, except for one object, which is kind of nice. So they made a choice not to do that, but I love that scene. That was just one of the best little like way to start the adventure. Question number 5 is, what creature would you send after your worst enemy? I would definitely send the Warren or the dragon-ish kind of creature. Yeah. Predator, take him out. Just do it. Question number 6 is, did you notice any references to rock and pop culture? So I know I did. I can't recall any of them right now because it's been 10 months since I read the book. But I do remember thinking there was a few in there, and I'm sure he threw some stuff in with bands and things like that. So I just, you know, rock bands and stuff. So because that's kind of the joke of the way that they talk about Saga is like they're like a rock band kind of thing. I mean, how we would relate to it of how they're fame. So I just don't remember them. I know there were some. I can't remember. Question number 7, if you had a pair of magical mirrors that you could step through, where would you place them? Between here and a Dutch Brothers coffee. Yeah. Is that bad? Yeah, probably. But that's an honest answer every morning. That's where I want it. Number 8, what characters would you take into the Heartwyld with you? I would take Galleon because he is badass, and but if I could take another one, I'd take Larkspur because she's badass. I'm taking the badass ones with me. Number 7. Rumor is that Saga lost another bard. What happened this time? I think the classic tale is the bard got in the way. He was all excited that things were happening and he's trying to stay out of the way. He wants to see the action and he got in the way, and unfortunately I think one of the, they took him out. The creature got him before the creature got to the rest of the band. Whoops. And question number 10. Can you name an SFF book that is just as funny, if not funnier, than Kings of the Wyld? Now, I laughed at this book quite a bit. I mean, this book was hilarious, and I completely recommend this to anybody who likes fantasy and likes to laugh. But it still has all the great elements of a fantasy with, the guys, they're all... but it's great because they're aging, and so it's not quite as easy anymore. And then of course there's other people. So I picked up a couple books here that I thought I would just point out. Again, I would say classic of one that's pretty funny. I'm always going to go with Terry Pratchett's series. Again, I like the Watchmen are my favorite ones, but I've read almost all of them. I have like only a couple left that I'm holding on to, but I need to finish this series off. But his humor was always great, and it's just again, there's some social commentary, but it's always funny. It's just great. Then again, one of my authors that I'm reading right now a lot of is Sam Sykes. This is the City Stained Red. The first one is Bring Down Heaven trilogy. I will recommend this because it is really the same kind of, it has the fantasy elements, and it's all gritty and good, but it's so funny. I laugh a lot of the times here because the characters, you just can't take them seriously. They're so realistic that way, because you wouldn't be able to do things. And then just because I'm reading this right now, the Sin du Jour urban fantasy series by Matt Wallace. This is, again, it's just slightly different, but these are funny and light, and I would say that I laugh a lot through these because they're just crazy, and they're super fast reads, the books. So, Anyway, so that is the tag. I got it done. So if you have read Kings of the Wyld, do this tag, and make sure you let me know you do it. It's a really a great book. If you have not read it yet, go out and get it. This is one of my favorite books from last year. I really enjoy it. I am going to reread it probably before the next book comes out. It's a fun book. It was fantasy, and I just loved it, and I hope you do too. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.